My dear sisters, Jesus trained the disciples for quite some time now. The disciples listened to the preaching of Jesus, saw the wonders worked by Jesus, and above all, they spent quite a lot of time with Him. He wants to know whether they have really understood Him. So He prepares them with the first question, asking them, "Who do people say that I am?" Then they speak of all the time what the other people are really saying. They say, some say John the Baptist, others Elijah, according to the other gospel, even Jeremiah, and then in addition, some others say one of the prophets. Jesus asked them the more vital question now and asking them, "Who do you say I am?" So there must be a difference between what people in the world know about Jesus, what we as consecrated persons know about Jesus. We know Jesus more personally, more intensely. We have more opportunity to know Jesus. That is the question. And then Peter says, "You are the Christ of God." The answer was at least right in words. But then the Christ Peter understood is different from the Christ that Jesus himself was really supposed to be or was. That's why he says to them, "Do not speak about it. You have not fully understood me." Now the first part of today's reflection is this. Do we truly know Jesus? Do we truly love Jesus? Being a consecrated person is to know Jesus, to love Jesus more than others. That is the question that the Lord asks us. What are the ways of knowing Jesus? Of course, reading and meditating on His Word, listening to His Word when it is proclaimed attentively, spending quality time in prayer, and growing in intimacy with Him. How do I know Jesus? What is Jesus for me? Is He more intimate to me than He is to other people? That's what we have to ask. Sometimes we know very little about Jesus. Instead of having direct contact with Him, then we hear something, we read some commentaries and so on. You might have heard about this little story of a monk in the forest being visited by a man, a stranger. He went to be with him. He should not go to the monk empty-handed. No, so he took the chicken, it seems. They both of them cut it and then had a good lunch. Next day somebody went to the monk and then he went empty-handed. So he asked him, "Who are you?" The monk said, "Yesterday one man came to you, no, your friend. So I am his friend." So what to do? The monk had prepared something, so he shared with him. The third day another man went to him. He also went empty-handed, did not take anything. Then he asked him, "Who are you?" Day before yesterday one man came, "No, I am the friend of his friend." Fourth day, fifth day, sixth day, so many people went. None of them took any offering to the monk. The monk had to share what he had toiled and then prepared. And then monk thought he should put an end to this. So when the seventh day, when a man came, he asked him, "Who are you?" 6 days ago one man came, "No, I am the friend of the friend of the friend of the friend of the friend," he said. Then when the man opened the soup, it was only water. This is soup of the soup of the soup of the soup of the soup. Mere water only. Mere water only. So we learn from others. There are commentaries of commentaries of commentaries. Finally what remains is only water. What is your relationship to Jesus? Do you know Him well? Do you know the Bible? Do you know the Bible well? Do you know to teach good catechism? Do you say Jesus is my friend, my Lord, my spouse? It's not merely enough to say. That's why Jesus says, saying that you know, it does not matter much unless there is commitment. Devil also knows, but it does not commit itself. Jesus says immediately about the passion. The Son of Man must suffer, must be crucified, must die. That is the type of Messiah I am. Jesus is immediately telling them about his suffering and commitment, knowing Jesus and loving Jesus. Actually, Jesus asked two questions, especially to Peter. First question is, who do you say I am? In other words, do you know me? After the resurrection, he asked Peter another question, do you love me? Every day, Jesus is asking us these two questions. Do you know me? Do you love me? Do you know me? Do you love me? What is the consequence? If you know me and love me, you should walk in my path. You should give your time, energy, attention, vitality, everything to me. That's what Jesus will say. Sometimes people say, I know Jesus, I love Jesus, but then they live a life of no commitment at all. No commitment at all. For the little innocence, it was 2 years. For Jesus himself, it was 33 years. For St. Anthony, it was only 36 years. For Francis of Assisi, little more than 40, 44. What matters is not when we die, but whether we accomplish the purpose for which God has placed us in this congregation, placed us on this earth. That really matters. What matters is that we have to really know the Lord, love the Lord, not merely in words, but commit ourselves to Him. May we live every day as a blessing to those people with whom we live, to whom we are called to serve. Amen.